Hello, friends. This is Pernilla from Divine Feminine Flow, self love mentor, spiritual messenger, spiritual guide. Really, during these times, doing everything I can to connect with those of us who really feel we came here for a higher, deeper purpose than just being lost in a 3D world that is more and more turning into a robotic AI construction with all of us as little parts in it. And at this point, we definitely still have access to the truth of who we are. So when I ask the question, do you want to be taken over by AI? That's a very multifaceted question, of course, and you can't just answer it. I mean, we all say no, but the bottom line is that most of our life out there is already run by AI. I mean, it's the little things, just having a phone, a GPS. Um, we can add Siri. There's so many things where we are really have made ourselves dependent on it, and it's very convenient. It makes lives easier. And I think we all want that. And I think this is just my personal view on it, that AI can be a very, very beautiful thing that is going to give us more freedom to be creative, to bring out the divine, to spend more time with the depth of our being and bringing that forth into the world, so we don't have to spend so much time on a lot of the mundane things that most of us don't enjoy. There are people who enjoy that, and it's not mundane for them. It's something that they really get inspired by, and I think that's wonderful. But if we look at it from an evolutionary point of view right now, AI is taking over more and more. And I think it's taking over more than we are really aware of or even want to be aware of, because we all like comfort and convenience. And for most of us, and familiarity, for most of us, that is basically what runs our lives in one way. There's safety, of course, we want to stay safe. But then there's also the convenience, comfort, familiarity. That's just something that we naturally gravitate to. So when AI is giving us all these amazing new gadgets and ways of doing things, it's very natural that we just gravitate there, just like when the computer came out and then the cell phone, and there's all these things, and it keeps getting more. Now, I don't know where we should set, a boundary. That might be an individual thing for each of us, but I think there is something that we really, really need to be aware of. And that is that we are more and more giving away our natural abilities, our learned abilities, like even a calculator. Most people, the younger generations, they don't know how to calculate in their head. I learned that when I was a child. So when I'm somewhere in the store and I need to pay, I just do it in my head, and I know it in my head what I'm going to pay before they go on their little calculator and find it, because it's just something that I've done for so long. I mean, not the big numbers, of course, but just the general things. And if I go driving in town or going far away, I'm very grateful to have a GPS. In the old days, you had the maps, and you would map it out. I used to write it out. So I had it also, besides having to look, these maps, you almost need these huge magnifying glass to see what it is, at least at my age. So there is a lot of convenience in that. And I personally, I'm very, very grateful for it. It's lovely. But now that they're beginning to, or they have done it for a while, they are injecting AI into our veins. I don't know if you are aware of it. Some people may say I'm crazy and a conspiracy theorist. That's fine. I mean, you can certainly have your own experience, and maybe the research that you have done is different than what I have done. I have I guess my trusted people that I know are doing the real research. So I tend to resonate with that. But seeing what is happening, that more and more and of that AI stuff is also in our bodies now. They want to, um, what is it? They want to put chips in us. That's been going on for a while. So we don't need credit cards and all that. So we can just use it with a hand. Actually, I was at, at Whole Foods the other day, and I was paying at the self-checkout, and there were two little things up there that you could put your credit card on, or so I thought. So I put it on the wrong one, and there I thought I would put my PIN number in. And then it says, put your palm on whatever that was. And I was like, what? Palm? And I was looking at it and I didn't understand it. So I asked the guy, one of the people who worked there, and he says, yeah, your credit card is going to be connected to the palm of your hand, so you don't need the credit card anymore. So maybe it's already in a way like we don't need the chips. Now it's just they have new technology, new AI. So we just put our palm on it, and then we don't need the credit card anymore, because now in the future, it recognizes your palm. So this is how things are evolving little by little by little, where we go, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And then suddenly our whole life is run by AI. And again, I don't know if this makes sense to you, if you're aware of it, but I have noticed a number of times when I have certain thoughts, think about doing something. For instance, years ago, I wanted to have the flooring in my house redone. I had done no research online. I was just kind of thinking about it. Well, guess what ads showed up on I think it might have been Facebook or something feed? New flooring. And I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it because I had not done any research yet, but it had already picked it up. And another time, I had a friend over. This is some years ago, and I hadn't seen her for a while. We were just went and met her in the parking place at my house, and we talked. And I said, "Wow, last time you were here, do you remember I had the kittens? They were like a few weeks old, and we took some pictures of it." And we were just talking out in my parking lot. I didn't have my phone or anything with me. So we had a lovely afternoon. And then after she went home, I went to check something on my phone. And the pictures that I took years ago with her and my kittens, they were right there. That was shocking. That was really shocking. So I don't know what it is. I don't know how it works. I do not think it's a coincidence because these pictures were years old, many years old. And I just opened my phone and they were just there. It's really bizarre. So things are happening, guys. And the reason I want to talk about that today is we have to be very aware not to give our connection to our own wisdom, to our own divinity, to our soul. We have to be careful because little by little, suddenly you start selling away your soul for convenience. So you don't have to go in and, find the truth or the wisdom inside. You just go online and into some AI app, AI app, and you get the answer. And little by little, you lose the ability to connect with your own wisdom, with your own intelligence. You don't need to think anymore. You can just go and look it up. You can just ask whatever app will answer you. And little by little, we basically become AI extensions with the things that are in our bodies, and it's not just injections. It comes in many, many ways. shocking ways, many of them. I don't want to be a fearmonger here, but I want to be an awakener, just to have you consider, are you willing to sell your soul for convenience? It's a tricky question. And I know most will say, no, 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 of course not. But you have to be very aware, because it's very, very tricky out there, and it's not going to get better right away. There's so much, you may have heard about the whole AI thing that they're working with now. They want to put, I don't know, many billions into creating new mRNA vaccines. A lot of it has a lot of that AI in it. And it makes us more and more AI-like and less human, organic, connected to our divinity. Most people are not connected to it anyway. If you're on my channel, you probably are or want to be. Most people are not connected enough to realize that if they do this thing here, they're giving a little more away of who they are. And it's just simply going to be harder and harder to connect with that inner wisdom, with your body language, with your heart's intention and your heart's longing. You move away from it. And it's not going to serve you in the long run. You'll become a little robot in the system, and you'll just be like everybody else. Excuse me. So your uniqueness is just going to dissolve. It's just going to disappear, because you disappear. You move away from it. And my friends, that is why for me, this is what I'm here for right now. It can change tomorrow, but this is what the message keeps coming through and wants to be shared here. That's why I have my channel. So at least there is an outlet for that, for anybody looking for it. And the important thing is that we stay connected to our bodies, to the organicity, to the wisdom, to the feelings, to the felt sense, to the ways that we suppress who we are. And so we can start depressing, unpressing, opening it up. And every time we do that, we connect back to what is true in us. And we need a lot of people, a lot of souls to really be connected inside, and not let the unresolved emotions and memories and traumas decide what we do for convenience. Doing deep work inside, deep trauma work, deep emotional work, that's not easy. It's not convenient, I tell you that. It's hard work. So it would be much more convenient to say, oh, I'm just going to do this, then I don't have to deal with this. This will, who knows what, cover it. My body will not start tell me make me feel the discomfort anymore, and I can just be a robot and just be numb. I may not describe it the way it's actually going to happen, but I just want to say that I want to give you a taste of what is already happening. And then I want to give you an invitation to choose differently and choose wisely. You can ask yourself right now, that crazy question: am I willing to give up my soul for convenience? Am I willing to be taken over by AI more than we already are? Because we are. Everything we do is already AI run and AI managed. So a lot of things, it's already part of how we live. But we need to kind of put a stop sign and say, no more. I can't get out of that. That's how things work. But I have to stop. And I want to encourage you to do some research on this whole AI takeover. And there is a lot. The transhumanism, it's scary when you start reading about it, but it is already happening. So I'm here, hopefully a voice, a little voice on YouTube, like, please come back to yourself. Listen to what you deeply want, not what you want in the head for convenience, but what you deeply, deeply long for. That is the true voice of the divine. And it speaks through us as sensation, as a knowing, as an expansion, as a warmth. I often get these truth bumps or God bumps when truth is spoken. So it speaks in many ways. And that's very unique and personal to each one of us. And that is who and what we are and need to be and need to stay connected with. Hopefully, those people who choose the AI route are still able to hear us, to feel us, to kind of sense that like there is some truth in that. I feel like I'm dissolving or moving too far away from what I'm sharing here now. So I want to just say, come back. Come back. Don't give yourself to AI. Use it for what is important, what you need. I use AI. I have to be honest. I make my little thumbnails on an AI creator, and then I also when I do write the description for my channel for my YouTubes here. I run it through an AI just for, editing or clarity or hashtagging SEO, just so it will be available to be found by more people. But I can also see the temptation to say, like, oh, I'm just going to give it 2 words and have it write it. No, but I don't. I do write it because it comes from within. When I write, when I speak, I'm not thinking about it. It's just coming, and I trust that. So also when I write the description, I do it so I remember what I wrote, what I talked about, and then I just ask it to, to clean it up, basically. So yes, I use it too, and I think it's fantastic because I'm not an editor, I'm not a copywriter. So it's for me, it's really nice just to have that little help there. Just like when my website breaks down or something, I can reach out to a web person who knows how to fix that because it's not something I'm interested in. So yes, I think there is a lot of convenience that I also enjoy, but not at the expense of this. This is probably be something that people who are not fully lost in the AI that they're longing for. So I'm praying that there's going to be enough of us who still have that connection, who still know how to listen to that guidance inside, to the inspiration and to the longing, to the expression, that we can also help others connect back to us, to them, to themselves, with us. So, yeah, it's a little bit different when I talk like that today, but I just think it's important and that we really stay connected with each other in ourselves and that we connect with each other, with others who are on that same frequency so we can support each other and not feel so alone. It's like, well, everybody's doing the AI thing, I want to do it too. Like everybody's doing the vaccine thing, so I'm going to do it too. And if I don't do it, people are going to pressurize me. And then we do things that other wants us to do, and we're not listening and honoring what's really true inside here. And that's how I got sidetracked many years ago because I was not listening to this. And I got in a deep, deep mess, horror, basically. And I don't do that anymore. And I don't want anybody else to do that. So learning the language of your own body, it's super important. And that is that is your source connection. And I certainly hope that you choose source connection and to do whatever it takes to stay connected. Feel free to reach out to me if you need help with that. I also offer a monthly online gathering called Feel Your Deepest Longing, Find Your Spiritual Calling, and that we do once a month. The first Tuesday of the month. I'll put the links in the description below. All right, my friends, stay connected to your soul and your heart. It's the best thing you can ever do.